Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the June 2nd, 1997 edition of Raw is War, and the match card is as follows. In our opener, we had Farooq taking on Ahmed Johnson. We had Bob Holly taking on Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. Goldust taking on Hearst Helmsley in a grudge match. The Legion of Doom takes on the newly crowned tag team champions, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin for the tag team championships.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. Mankind takes on Savio Vega in our final first round King of the Ring match. And in our main event, The Undertaker takes on the returning Psycho Sid. Okay,
Wow.
guys, we are back.
We are so back.
We took a week off, mostly, partially the holiday. Not like for Go America or nothing, but just because to take a break.
Just because.
And I wanted to run around the woods for a couple days. So that's what we did instead.
So hyped to be back. I'm feeling so feral to be back doing wrestling. Like I'm about to be Xavier barking at the intro. Like,
oh my
let's
God.
get into it. I'm about to go Xavier at the intro.
Amen. So this one opens up. Here's what you missed last week. So for those of you who have not been keeping up, or you missed a week and now you're just completely lost without us, I get it. So
I understand.
So Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin hate each other's guts, somehow managed to pull off the victory over the British Bulldog and Owen Hart to win the tag team championships last week. Spoiler alert, still hate each other's guts. Now they just have more gold, so there's just a little bit more shiny. There's a little bit more I guess importance on their fighting instead of it just being two guys that just don't like each other.
I know. I love to see it.
And also the moment that angered Kelsey to no end, the Undertaker kneeling before Paul Bearer as he falls victim to blackmail, which, where are the police?
We're televising blackmail and going like, that's a bummer.
I know, seems weird.
Okay.
Yeah, but like for some reason, like Stone Cold's always getting arrested. So
yeah, no, seriously, like let's talk about this. But I just realized the last episode we had, and then we were off for a week, which is us going bye.
Also,
and then we were like, see ya.
Not me forgetting to name the actual video on YouTube and then going on vacation. Yeah. Fully, it was on YouTube for 2 weeks as just the file name that I saved it under.
Oh my God, why did I didn't notice, and I watched it. So that's also really bad. We needed that week. Let me
we needed that week. For those of you who don't know, I have 4 billion jobs.
100%, yeah.
I'm really bad at taking breaks. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
I have to like force a vacation just to like not.
Yeah, so, my biggest ambition is like in life is for Xavier to take a break that he actually means.
Amen.
Because that's the caveat right there.
It's the asterisk that really matters right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Period.
So this week, The Undertaker kicks us off. He comes out to the ring because he's got some splaining to do.
I literally put Undertaker exclamation point. Explain yourself, sir. Exclamation point.
Perfect. Exactly on brand. Exactly what was necessary. So he kind of goes on to just be like, it's to protect the ones I love, which is, like, cool.
But who?
If you're like everybody else, but like, you're the undead. Who do you love?
I'm saying, you are literally an undead man. We know your parents are dead and buried. We've discussed. You've never had any friends. Your one friend who for 6 years betrayed you.
Right.
Who is?
That's what I'm saying. And I understand. I know last episode we talked about like this being like a more humanizing angle for the Undertaker, but like not all at once. Like
not all at once. Yeah, no. Suddenly you got friends. You're going to like barbecues on the weekend with your homies.
That's what I'm.
When did that happen?
What I'm saying. I was like, he's like the ones I love. I was like, where?
One's plural is also crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
How many? I need a guest list. Who's coming?
100%.
Crazy.
So he's doing this to protect the ones that he loves, apparently. But then he goes into he goes further and explains. So he's like, when I got my hands around Paul's fat neck, and I was just like,
This is what
okay,
I want to
Undertaker.
see.
I
This
was
is
like,
what
all
I
right, all right, get your digs in. Like, if you have to play this game, at least like let him know you're not happy about it.
love. And
Um,
the way he leaned into fat neck is
yeah, right,
crazy.
100%. Because you know
Felt
it's
it.
yeah, because there's like a level of I mean it when you throw your neck.
Oh, yeah.
um,
Period.
but basically he was like, I could have, laid my hands all over him, but it wouldn't really have like done anything for the situation that I am in now. And he's like, essentially he goes on to like talk about, he's like, I don't need to worry about ever like going to the underworld, like when he passes or whatever. He's like, because I'm living it now. And I was like, okay, drama. I was like,
Love.
damn. I was like, someone parked this man outside of a rainy window. This is crazy.
The urn is unbelievable. Off the
100%.
charts.
I was like, this is absolutely
I
wild.
am living it. Okay, why is this me on Tumblr in 2010?
Oh, yeah, you're
I'm
not
in
you were not
hell
alone.
is empty and the devils are here.
No, I'm gonna pretend like there was any substance on my Tumblr. Like there was none.
No, no, yours especially. I mean, there was content,
There was content, but
substance.
there was no substance.
There were definitely
Um,
no words.
mm-mm, nothing but yuck. I'm sorry. Tumblr was Twitter back when we couldn't do what people do on Twitter now. So
Period. It's so true. Tumblr walked so that Twitter could run, and let's be real
100%. What
about
was
it.
I really wish I could remember that one whatever like tag that we used that was like used across Tumblr for all of the spicy content.
Yes, it was. I feel like it was a food, or it was like a
Yeah, it was something like very mundane. Like
yes, but
it's
it'd be
like
like extra spicy
or like extra
sometime.
pineapple or
It was
like
a food. I just feel confident about, or like a something, or I
so
don't know.
so if anybody remember if you were a Tumblr girly between
Sign off because
because I know you know what the tag is and
I
I
know
know
you
you want to
know.
share.
Reveal thyself. Safe space. Safe
Uh,
space.
so okay, so back to the
Was
show.
it lemon?
What's up?
Was it lemon?
Was it lemon?
It might have been lemons, like extra sour lemons. Was if it was like really, was it lemon? Okay, sorry, we're moving on. We're moving on. But
Oh,
let
amazing.
confirm or
No, but
deny
actually let
somebody.
us know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so the Undertaker says that basically he has to just keep walking the path with Paul Bear. Like we're just gonna have to see how this unfolds.
fine.
Um, all I know is who can look at Paul Bear for that long and not deck him. So just we just gotta be patient. So
It'll
Paul Bear
happen.
comes out, he interrupts. And he's like, you've been doing an awful lot of talking, dead man. And I was like, oh geez. He's like, and like honestly, like he's good at this. Like, you know what
Oh,
I mean? Like this,
yeah,
whatever he's doing.
it's true.
He's like, dead man, maybe I should do some talking of my own. And dead man's like, he's like, that's what I thought. And you're like, ooh, 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 ooh.
I mean, he is coming with the dish. I can't be
I
mad. He
you know
brought the
what I
covered
mean?
plate. I'm really pissed off.
And it's the way the Undertaker just like takes it that like you're just like, damn, he really do have something.
I know, like what it has to be so juicy. It
hmm
has to be, but also it's like I know Undertaker, like you said, he can't contain this forever, and like his wrath is so sexy. It's so good. It's so fierce. So, can't wait to see it. So it'll happen.
Amen. So basically he goes on to talk to the Undertaker. He's like, you're my personal instrument of destruction. He's like, you're basically he basically just went on to be like, when I say jump, you say how high, and like that's it.
Right.
Like that's the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
discussion. Um, and then Psycho Sid comes back out of nowhere.
Well, I guess because
Happens
Paul Bear was like, I'm the ruler of the world. And Psycho Sid
right,
was like, ooh, actually,
right.
so funny.
So weird and cute that you thought that. But I'm back, and
Hmm.
apparently he had a lower
A lumbar
back
injury.
injury. I don't really know what that entails. Um, but basically he goes out. addresses Paul immediately. He was like, listen here, fat man. He's like, you do not rule anything. And you're just like, wow, okay, got it. And for the most part, this was one of the more decent, I think, promos. I think for the most part. I think the end,
Yeah, there was a leech on leech moment.
yes, that was a bit like
You
you definitely like dropped a word, just said the same thing twice. But like it's fine.
it's fine. But for all intents and purposes, he had weeks and weeks to brew this up, and it shows. He worked very hard on this
Yes,
for
yes.
the weeks he was out.
Why I just swear to God, whenever he does like a solid promo, I feel
You want to
like
give
we
him
just
like a
got like a good
biscuit.
book report out of him, you know?
Yeah, and he's like the troubled student. And not troubled, but he's just like
He
he's not
struggles. Yeah.
he's gonna yeah. He's not writing any books, and that's fine. That's fine. Neither am I. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. But essentially he was like, when I lost the title to you, Dead Man, like I was like, I don't even need a rematch, like, because he carries the title with such like r- respect
And
and like
grace or something. I was like,
whatever.
this.
Yeah. And I was like, weird logic, because like if I lost, I'd want my rematch.
And
That's
that's
just
just
me.
not in character. Psycho is literally in the name. There's no
Right.
rationalizing anything. It's like, well, I was gonna fight you, but you just look so good in that belt. I guess I'll let it
I
be.
guess
Like
I'll
that
let it
just
be. I was
it
like,
doesn't make any sense. But
yeah. You're
whatever.
like, but okay. He's like, but now that I see you've aligned yourself with this, I've lost respect for you, and I will be taking that rematch. And we're like, okay.
Okay.
You're right. No, we're just like, if that's the game we're playing, sure. So tonight's main event will be Psycho Sid taking on the Undertaker.
But
But then of
non-titled.
non-titled. So is it a rematch?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, was this even? It was just like, I just want to fight you, which
Yeah.
okay, respectable. I get it, but to me, that's not a rematch for the title belt because
Right.
the title belt's not on the line. But do whatever you want.
Do what you will. So Farooq and the Nation interrupts, and essentially he's just basically just like, he's like, you two can just carry on however you want. He's like, in a week the black man is going to rule the world, he says. And then yeah, there wasn't really much to it after that. He was just came in, said his 2 cents, and then like left.
Which,
uh
by the way, top of the ramp. It's not. He wasn't getting in the mess. He was just like, just wanted to let you know, I'll
I was
see
like,
one of you in a week.
100%. He's like, y'all play your reindeer games, like that's fine, but
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 also, like, it's a non-titled match,
that's what I'm
so it's gonna
saying.
be Undertaker. We don't have to do the song and dance of like
Right,
whichever one of you it is. It's gonna be Undertaker because this isn't a titled match.
right. But
But okay,
that's the gag, is like, what did they know? Did they both know? Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
Like, was it supposed to be a title match? Is everyone just confused? I don't know.
It's a great question.
So it cuts to Ahmed Johnson kind of chilling in the back before they like come out. And he basically just goes on to just be like, I know that Farooq has all of these plans. And then he just starts like yelling. He's like, I don't care about your plans. And then he's like, I'm taking you out. And we're like, okay.
Okay.
And then they give us like the recap of recaps of um Ahmed Johnson versus Farooq. Like they went right to the
all,
beginning.
all
They
the way back.
Farouk got his old fit. That's when they started.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but I
Let's
will say, like halfway through, it was like a normal like recap, and like halfway through, it just got like the music just like came on, and it was
Oh my god, yeah.
we were absolutely lit. Yeah, we were just like, I stopped watching, like fully stopped watching the recap, because I was like, I already know what's going on. I was like, doesn't even
No,
matter. Doesn't even matter.
literally. It was the brat version of like some bat. We were just like,
No, they said recap.
he was smashing D'Lo through the table, and we were both like this.
I was like, damn, I was
Went
not
off.
expecting the recap to go off that hard. No,
Like,
100%. Like 4 on the floor. Let's go.
yeah. Let's go.
Shoot, I almost threw my ass in a circle. I almost got up
Period.
to do it.
Yeah, it was getting close. If I wasn't tethered to the wire, it would have been over for you girls.
No, 100%. So we get Ahmed Johnson's entrance. We once again are just bombarded with the knowledge of his troubled youth, whether we wanted it or not. They really just, and you like, and they wonder why Farouk's mad. Like,
Uh,
you know what I
I'm
mean?
saying
I was
because they'll
like,
do a whole expose on Mankind and Goldust, and like, yes, love to see it, but like, Ahmed Johnson better be next in line the way you carry on about him.
no,
Like,
that's
just
what I'm
give me the full
saying.
thing at this point.
Give me his 3-piece interview. Like, what is this?
I'm
Like,
saying,
oh, so crazy, so crazy, so crazy. Um, so at some point, the nation like comes down, but they're like kind of ejected. Like they come down to the ring, and then we get like on commentary, they're like, oh, but the nation's been told to like head back to like the top of the ramp. And we're like, okay, so they're not there, but they're kind of there. And you're like, in or out? Like I
right.
my mom
Like,
yelling at me like in the summer, like in or out?
in or out? Are you air conditioning the whole neighborhood or what? Like, get in
no,
here or get out of
100%.
here.
So it was just very like, are you
Yeah,
here
and
or are you not?
the rules are so unclear. It's like, are they allowed to be ringside? Or are they not allowed to be ringside? I think everyone is confused.
Yes, and because they do something similar happens later with the Hart Foundation, where they were like out and they weren't, and they were out, and they were like,
Yeah.
did they come early? Or was
Oh,
this
they
like
came out
intense?
early.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, did they, or was this intentional? Like, what? It was very confusing, very jaunty.
Yeah.
Um, so the match is like carrying on. I don't really know why we're doing this particular matchup again.
I am not
Considering
either.
we did it on like multiple pay-per-views, and there really isn't like a stipulation or anything that like carries it further, so we're just doing this match again. um
Right.
so at one point the Undertaker comes out and then attacks all of the surrounding nation members and Farooq,
Just for
like
kicks.
just, which is crazy, but for some reason there isn't a disqualification called, even though like the Undertaker's fully putting hands on Farooq, an
Yep.
active participant in the match. Not that I
Yep.
like wanted him to win per se, but I'm just like, where's the consistency?
Right, because we get
Like
a disqualification later for the exact same scenario. So it's
that's
like,
what I'm
and
saying.
the referee was literally like leaning over the ropes, like, "Hey, cut it out." It's like, okay, so you see what's going on here.
Right, so you're
We're
not
all on the
blind.
same page that this is
Got
not
it.
correct. Okay,
Got it,
good to
got
know.
it. So Ahmed Johnson, or rather, the Undertaker throws Farooq into Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson goes careening into the ring steps, all 300 pounds of him. And
Yeah.
it looked just bad. I'm sure it was just like the way the angle it was like filmed or whatever, because he was obviously fine. But
Hmm.
he like the angle in which he looked like it hit just looked very jarring, because it looked like he just went like
Yeah.
corner of ring step into face. And we were like,
Yeah.
yikes. Um, so that little altercation allows Farouk to throw Ahmed Johnson back in the ring, get the pinfall victory, and we're just like, but the ref saw the whole thing. I'm so lost. I'm so lost.
And like it could have even been a count out. They were out there forever. Like they were out there
Forever.
forever. Could have been a count out, could have been just interference, like literally anything. And they were like, nah, pinfall's cool. Do
Right.
it up.
No. Yeah, yeah, do it up. And then
Wild.
so Ahmed Johnson, understandably annoyed with the Undertaker for coming out and getting in his business, is like, what was that? And the
Yes,
Undertaker was
he's
literally like, at first is like, can you just not, like, I have bigger fish to fry? And Ahmed Johnson's like, excuse me, which doesn't do him any favors, because the Undertaker just choke slams him like essentially like through the ring, and that's that on that.
Ahmed
So
just got his ass handed to him
I
today.
know this was a rough day at the office for Ahmed, just
Yeah,
saying.
not a good night for my boy Ahmed Johnson.
Next we have the Hart Foundation in its entirety, I guess, with Brian Pillman, because we keep making that distinction that it's the Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman. I
Is
feel
it
like
because
it's
he's
like
like the
a
clergy? Like,
I don't know what it may
like
be.
what is
Um,
that?
I don't know, but it feels like one of those like, I'm trying to think of like a product that gets like fused with like another product. And it's just like this with like the cleaning power of like Pine Sol.
Oh, like OxyClean and Clorox, or like the
Right,
or whatever it is,
right,
like
right, right.
or Tide with
Powered by
OxyClean.
bleach or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Powered by me for real. No, just kidding.
It's like the Hurt Foundation, powered by Brian Pillman. And you're like,
Yes, or honestly, Brian Pillman powered by the Heart Foundation
you know
because
what?
he's
That's
not powering dick right
much.
now.
No more. Yeah.
Let's be real. Yeah.
Sad. Okay. So sad. So the Hart Foundation is in the ring with Vince. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold are put up on the Titantron split screen, clearly in
Three-way
different locations.
three-way called, yeah.
They so we find out, or the question is posed to Brett whether he's cleared to compete at the King of the Ring to take on the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in this like 10-minute exhibition, I guess is what we call it. Turns out after the just vicious assault from Stone Cold Steve Austin that Bret Hart is not cleared to compete. It would be very bad, so says his doctor.
Said no. I knew this wasn't gonna happen. I knew it.
Because the stipulations of that match were insane.
Stupid.
Absolutely absurd.
Stupid.
10 minutes or Bret will never wrestle in America again. Who's in that scenario? I feel like they just booked themselves into a corner and then had to get themselves out of it. Because like
yeah.
Okay, so you make Shawn Michaels lose in 10 minutes after having him win in an hour-long Iron Man match. Make that make sense. Or you actually have the scenario where you can't book Bret Hart in America. What?
It was, I don't know who was cracked.
It was a no-win situation. I don't know where they thought they were going with that, but nobody was going to like end up on top there.
It felt like an 11th hour idea that like they were like, let's do it. And then as it started to actually unfold, they were like, wait, this might be stupid.
Yeah, no, they were like, actually, I don't think we can do that.
And I love that the solution is like, let's make HBK and Stone Cold a tag team and then have them win, and then Stone Cold gets the opportunity to take Bret out, thus injuring him so they can't do it. Like,
yeah, it's so convoluted.
Crazy.
And then HBK and Stone Cold basically spend the next like 5 minutes just fighting over like who gets the credit, like, or like whose fault it is for taking Bret out. And Shawn's like annoyed because now he can't get his hands on Bret, and like Stone Cold's like, don't tell me I did anything wrong. He's like, I already told Bret like it's not over till I say it's over. So like I don't know why he's pretending like he's shocked that I came after him. Like,
yeah, like I did something out of character.
That really is the gag of the Hart, like of Bret Hart, is like he really does sound like just like bewildered that this keeps happening to him. And it's just like, baby, I don't think you understand what on site means.
Yeah, no, like, we really do. They not do that in Canada? Like, what's the tea? Because
Stone Cold said on site, and he has been true to form, true to word every time.
He's never not on brand with can of whoop ass on site. So like start to expect it. Like I don't know what you want.
I swear it's like when people like play stupid. It's not cute, baby. Like
no,
open your eyes. He said on site, he means on site. Stop acting all like, oh my god, I can't believe it's happening to me. And you're like, get a grip.
This era Bret Hart really gives like, don't talk to me, and then gets upset like, why didn't you talk to me?
No, 100%.
Booker, you told me not to.
Doesn't want to go once the invite.
Oh, well, that's, yeah. Please invite me so I can politely decline. And by politely decline, I mean flake the last.
I mean, tell you I'm coming the entire time until the last possible second.
Fam,
in which I disappear into the night.
And then you're like, it's all good, fam.
Yeah, you better be.
If Xavier hits me with that fam, it's over. It's over. Thanks, fam. I'm like, oh. He's like, that's Ohana.
Anyway, enough about my flaws. Let's talk about Bret Hart.
Seriously.
Essentially, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold just carry on fighting over all of this. And it gets to the point where Stone Cold's basically just like, walk your little happy ass over here and tell me your problems, like if you really feel this strongly about it, because like he's like, I'm not hard to find. Like
I'm in the room next door.
No, 100%. He's like, find the room with my name on the door. Like
yeah,
okay,
and you know who does understand on site? Shawn Michaels. And he's like, all right.
No, he literally goes, say less.
I'll be literally he goes, you can just walk over. Gone.
So much so that like the camera like knocked into like some wires for like a hot
Yeah,
sec.
because he took off with the quickness. He was like,
Mhm.
okay.
He's like on site. He understands the assignment.
Period.
So while the Hart Foundation is in the ring, Bret Hart, I guess, tells Brian Pillman this like brilliant plan. So essentially, Pillman offers up his spot in the King of the Ring match against Stone Cold Steve Austin to Shawn Michaels. He's essentially just like, you can take it if you want, but basically being like, but I want Stone Cold next, essentially. And Stone Cold replies to Brian Pillman by saying, what did he say? He said, "Your crippled, raspy ass voice," in reference to Brian Pillman, just basically be like, "I'll take care of Shawn Michaels on Sunday, and then I'll take care of you on Monday. So no worries, don't worry, you'll
Yeah.
get yours." So
And again, shock and awe. I'm like, Brian Pillman was like, oh.
I know.
And I was like, is that not the challenge you just issued? Is that they'll fight and then you'll fight? Is that not what you just said? And then he's like,
Right.
I accept. And he's like,
No.
oh my God. Like shocked. I'm like, wait. I don't
I
understand why this keeps
I
happening.
know. I was like, guys, I know we're like acting, but no.
That wasn't the right one. You should have been like,
That wasn't it.
okay, that wasn't the
No,
one.
no, because you can't offer the thing, they accept the thing, and then you're surprised by the thing that you originally like. You did this. You put this in motion.
Within the same 15 seconds.
That's what I'm like. How did you forget?
We just did this. So crazy.
Lost.
Brian.
Get a grip.
Oh, Brian.
So in our next contest, we have Bob Holly taking on Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. This came about because 2 weeks prior, Bob Holly got a quick roll-up victory over Owen Hart in a non-title match. So because that happened, this sets up Bob Holly to be the actual #1 contender because he has a victory over the champion.
Love.
So I just have a note that says Owen is so good. Owen is so good. The belly to belly, work of art. The
Yeah.
spinning heel kick, amazing. But I also said Bob had some surprises. He came out like the match
Yeah.
started with like a Hurricane Rana from Bob Holly. You're like, not what I was expecting, but like
And
go
it was
off.
gorgeous. I literally put Bob Holly rocks.
Bob Holly rocks.
Bob Holly rocks. And it's the only way you can talk about him because he is so that. Like he's just in his like what are those little cars? We forget every time. The
Matchbook.
little not the Matchbox cars, but there's like the other Hot Wheels. In
That's
his
the
Hot
one.
Wheels outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You can only say Bob Holly rocks.
Bob Holly rocks.
Rocks.
So this match is great. They're both incredibly
So
athletic.
good.
Surprisingly, no interference from the Hart Foundation. Love to see it.
Shocking. Yeah, love it though.
But the match is fairly short. And Owen picks up the victory with a sharpshooter. Looks fantastic.
So
Bob's
good.
like, as pretty much as soon as he's in it, done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that on that. Owen retains the title. I think it's nice that we get to see them more individually now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, well, individually defending their two titles.
Yes,
Um
100%.
because the British Bulldog has won the European Championship and I think has defended it one time.
Yeah, and I don't even remember against who.
Me either. But because they mainly just been doing the like tag team thing, but since they're no
Yeah.
longer the tag team champions, now we can get some individual time to shine, which is
Yeah, so
nice.
true. Love it.
And so after that, we cut to Shawn Michaels, who's backstage, and basically he's just like, I accept. Caveat, Pillman, not for you.
Mm,
He's basically just goes like, you can have what's left of Stone Cold when I'm done with him, if that's really like what you're into, like
mm-hmm.
your little vulture. But
If
like,
that's your gig, yeah.
right? He's like, but yeah, I'll lay my hands on Stone Cold. Sounds great. Thanks for the opportunity.
Love.
Um, Great, love to see it. So our next match, we have Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China taking on Goldust with Marlena. This is just a long overdue. I feel like this should have happened like a pay-per-view ago. And we never got
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
we never got it. So Goldust comes out fast and furious in this one. His face paint was like real dark.
He looked like a Decepticon.
I was
Looked
gonna
so
say
good.
Darth Maul, like
Yes.
very
Oh,
like that
period.
inspired. It looked like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Darth Maul comes later because it's 99, but still. Um, um,
He was the Goldust was the blueprint.
LOL. So the winner of this match, it was announced, will take on the British Bulldog for the European Championship next week on Raw.
Love.
Love to have love a little number one contender match.
Mm-hmm.
China looks great.
Duh.
Have her. She has like a just like a bodysuit with just like all these cutouts,
Mm-hmm.
like amazing, like on both sides. Like I don't know,
All
like
the
her tummy
way.
has cutouts. It was great. I liked it a lot.
Me too.
Um, so this match is very personal. You can tell like Goldust is swinging for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter doesn't really want any part of this. You can kind of tell
Mm-hmm.
like he just like
Yeah.
wants to carry on. Like he's in the King of the Ring tournament. He's got bigger fish to fry in his mind. He's just like,
Yeah.
I've upset this crazy man and now I have to deal with it.
It's so true. So
um
true.
so, of course, China tries to cheat. At one
Mm-hmm.
point, Goldust is hanging over the ropes. China and comes up behind him, like tries to like kind of like tangle him up in the rope so that Hunter can like get at him. But of course, Marlena comes to try and like save the day, and she's just like yanking at like China's foot with like all of her might, doing nothing. So
Nothing.
not even she and China's like, what is that? A puddle? Like that's crazy.
She's
Like,
like, what is that, a fly?
and you're like, oh my god. Um,
I think I
but
felt a little breeze.
amen. So uh while this is going on, Hunter goes off the ropes, misses Goldust in that exchange, smacks China. China goes off, and that allows Goldust to pick up the victory with just like a roll up.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see it. I love
Yes.
to see it.
And they
Love the
book it out
chaos.
of there. They
Yes,
book it out of there.
as they should, because
Yeah.
Marlena was not safe.
No, no, no. She immediately they got the Goldust got the win and she went pew, 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 track star in a dress, full on dress, ran for
Amen.
her life.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were up at the top of the ramp, like hee hee, like celebrating,
As
like
you should.
being
As
like,
you
bye
should.
girl. Yeah, love.
Love to see it. So next we have a promo from the Legion of Doom. Very short, sweet, to the point. He's like, "Well,
And that's it. That's all you
no,
need.
essentially he goes like, we're gonna do essentially what you promised, Shawn. We're gonna kick, but made it like weird. He's like, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna kick your teeth down Stone Cold Steve Austin's throat, and I was like, all right, sounds great, Legion of Doom.
Honestly, it sounds like something they would somehow
Would
be able to accomplish.
right, 100%.
So I wasn't even upset because if Psycho Sid said that, I'd be like, now Sid, how's that gonna work, babe?
Right.
But LOD, I'm like, I
Yeah.
believe you.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
somehow foresee that being a possibility for the
Mm-hmm.
two of you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was my first note on the Legion of Doom Heartbreak Kids Stone Cold Steve Austin match is more HBK Austin beefing.
Yeah, period.
Just more of that. The Heart Foundation like makes their way out at some point during that match, and they're out for like 2.5 seconds, and then like what I literally have Heart Foundation out on the apron, Owen looking cute. Heart Foundation got sent back to the locker room area, and you're like, okay,
Yeah, I'm
why'd they
not
come out
really.
then?
It was so random. I'm not even sure why. And yeah, someone did look cute because he was wearing the Stone Cold fit with the little
Winnie the Pooh.
yeah, the way he said, you guys made it look so fun. I had to try it out for
I know,
myself.
amazing, amazing, amazing. Um,
Yeah.
so poor Earl gets it this match. Earl
Yeah.
gets knocked down.
He really
Uh,
takes a lot of hits.
Yeah,
Poor Earl.
he gets knocked down, but he gets up again. And
Oh God, I hate that you.
um, no, literally.
So,
Earl gets knocked down. He does get up again and has to get one of the members of the Legion of Doom out of the ring, which then just leads to Austin and Stone Cold just absolutely going at it. They just start just fighting each other on the outside of the ring.
Mhm.
And then the match is called a count out because the two of them just can't stop. They just can't stop beefing. Like,
Love.
and again, I don't know why, because there like are stretches in the match where you're like, oh yeah, they're so good. That's
They're so
you
good.
forget that they like hate each other because they are so good at their job.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah, it's always latent. It's always ready to strike. But it's funny because even Vince said it. He was like, "You would not know that these two were literally screaming at each other like
Right.
20 minutes ago. You would
Mm-hmm.
not know. Very cohesive until
And
they weren't.
that's pretty much the story of this team.
Period."
Until they weren't. So after that, we get I guess, what is our second installment of the like Mankind like extended interview.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the Cactus Jack years,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I'm gonna do the thing that we do where I just announce that we're gonna watch some stuff. Okay, so we're gonna watch some Cactus Jack
Yes.
matches. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
this is
God.
all right. So allow me to put some together. We're definitely gonna see some Cactus Jack in WCW. We're gonna see him take on Vader. We're definitely gonna see him take on Sting, and we're
Work.
gonna definitely have to find some of those matches in versus Terry Funk. Those death matches. We'll watch one. I'll see if I can find it.
Yes.
They're
Okay,
gonna be
here for
brutal.
this. Oh, well, you
So.
figured. He literally was talking about wrestling with barbed wires as the ropes on literal explosives. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. So we go into the Cactus Jack years, as much as the WWF can without mentioning WCW. Um, Essentially, he goes on to just be like, oh, like I was wrestling like in all of these like other places, and I wasn't gonna do what anybody told me to do. I wasn't gonna dye my hair. I wasn't gonna be the what I like. He said he even mentions it. He's like, in the land of like all of these like perfect physiques and whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
carved my own path. I was going to do things the way that I wanted to do them, and nobody was going to tell me to do something differently. So when they tried, I left and I went to Japan. And he's like, I heard all about these like crazy matches. And he's like, I didn't care, because again, it harkens back to the last uh part of the interview when he's talking about Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and he's like, I saw the move that changed my life and I wanted to do that. I wanted to instill like a reaction from people. And then he goes on to kind of compare his time in Japan doing all of these like death matches and like just absolute insanity. So like your barbed wire ropes, your like C4 explosions, like just all of the stuff that like he becomes essentially synonymous with.
Mm-hmm.
um he's like, I got that reaction from people one way or another cared about what I was doing in here, which is what I always wanted. That was the whole
Mm-hmm.
point. And then he goes on to like share this story of like him traveling like on a plane, and this woman like was so disgusted by him that she like paid to be like moved somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and I had the time like the ride of my life.
Yeah.
And and again it goes into this thing. He's like, because she felt so strongly about like me and what I do, and like what I am, that like she went somewhere else. So uh, it's cool. We're getting this like just this is like a more well-rounded snapshot of this person. Like, the
Yes.
man fully quoted Shakespeare during this.
I wrote that. I was like, I literally go, he quoted Shakespeare for God's sake, talking about his scars.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so
and somehow
crazy.
managed to make like a scar tour of his body like make sense. He's like, he starts pointing to all the scars and like where he got them, and he's like from like Japan to like
Munich,
whatever, and it's like
Germany. Yeah.
anywhere and everywhere like in between, and you're like, damn, that's good. Um,
So good. He's just the best.
so it's so good to the fact that he is starting to get a positive fan reaction, like,
Yeah. Oh my God. So true.
which is not has not been the case up to this point.
Yeah.
People are so into this interview that they're starting to cheer him, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. um because he's
Because
done nothing redeemable, like,
no,
really.
he's a piece
So
of shit. But that's why he's the best.
right.
Like he's so good at it. And honestly, it's the hardcore gene is latent in all of us. We all
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it a little bit. Even if it's
Mm-hmm.
not our main course, we love to sample the merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
even when we trekked the track of ECW, like lived for that.
Right.
Lived for that. Love this, lived for that. Like,
Right.
so I think when people see that kind of stuff and see when people are willing to do so much for wrestling, like for
Mm-hmm.
this dream they have for the performance, for entertainment, for the fans, like there's
Mm-hmm.
just a respect. Like you can't help but respect these people.
Right. No, exactly. Because it's just like someone who values the fact that you came to spend your money somewhere and is like, oh, okay, well, I have to, like,
I'm gonna
so
give you the
someone is
show of a
so
lifetime.
motivated by that to like really put their body through it. Like, I don't know. It seems like you're in the wrong if you don't respect that.
Period. It's so true. It's admirable. No matter how
Right.
crazy it seems, it's admirable.
Right. I agree. So that leads us into our next match, which is Mankind versus Savio Vega, which is the final first round King of the Ring tournament match. The winner of this match will take on Jerry the King Lawler, who advanced last week. I have a note that says people are cheering Mankind. And we also have a note that says Paul Bear did not accompany Mankind.
Yep.
Mankind, and it was alluded to that during like the commercial break that they were on, that Mankind went to go look for Paul, and then came back out to the ring. So Uncle Paul is a little busy. He's a little preoccupado. He
With
said
his
he's
the
got the gold.
firstborn.
So, no, yeah, he really ditched that, the ugly stepchild,
Yeah,
quick.
mankind is triggering my youngest child trauma. Like just like, oh my God, you're home. Hey. Like, and it's
Have
like,
been home hours.
yeah, I literally, it's so
Hours,
crazy.
hours, hours, and hours.
Yeah,
JR had some zingers today. I did not get them all down because they came too fast.
I got a few.
Okay, hit me.
One, okay, so he was ripping on mankind, and
Yes.
he said, he was talking about the video of him, like he was berating JR for interviewing mankind because he's like, why would you interview that freak? He jumped off a house. That's no big deal. The house is so small. If you order a large pizza, you'd have to eat it outside.
Oh my God.
That's a creative one I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see coming, and so I will give props where props are due. I was not expecting that. Like you hear like small as a postage stamp or like blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. If you order a large pizza, you have to eat it outside. Crazy.
The one
And
that
then
I wrote down is he's also talking about Mankind. He said he looks like he was born hitting a wall at 50 miles an hour, which is crazy. Like,
these, and I have one more, but these are all in the span of 15 seconds. He was just
yeah.
like bing, 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 bing. Because he didn't come out to commentary until this moment. And I feel like he was just in the back. Like he didn't waste his energy on anybody else. He had it all stored up and it just
No,
vomited
100%.
out of
Yeah.
him.
Oh,
And
100%.
because the
He
other
wasn't
one,
on commentary last week because he was wrestling. He's had it like, he's been waiting.
woo, it's keeping him up at night how
No,
many
100,
things he has
he got that
brewing.
microphone and ascended. Like,
No, literally, he started levitating off the table like he went into the Avatar state. But the last one I have is something about JR, like, you want to play house? How about you be the door and I'll slam you?
Oh, so good.
Again, like that's a funny one. Like, because also when you say play house, I'm thinking like mom, dad, child, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah, the nuclear family. And he said, no, you're the door, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
slam you
slam
on my
you.
way out.
I love that. So good.
Good,
So good.
so good.
So at one point the match is taken to the outside, and Jerry's just like yelling at Mankind. He's just like, ah, like you freak, like blah 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 blah. And like so Savio gets like thrown back in the ring, and it seems like Mankind's going to like go and like follow him in. He turns right around, grabs Jerry by his scruff, zoinks him right over the table, just says yeet. And Jerry's just absolutely bewildered. I was like,
he
F
belongs with the
around
Hart
and found out.
Foundation.
F around and find out.
He's
Like what?
screaming in his face, freak, 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 and then he's like, "Why would he do that?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do?" Okay, like you. Okay,
Right. So Jerry gets yanked. And then
Jerry gets yanked. Jerry gets yanked. Jerry
Jerry
gets
gets
yanked.
yanked. So we are once again hit with a Crush Savio miscommunication that cost Savio the match for the second time. And this time they go at it.
Period.
They go at it. Savio's
fighting.
Crush is like, F off, dude, don't care.
Yeah.
And then they start brawling. So much so that Farooq comes out and then he's just like, you know what, never mind. You're not worth it. You're actually not worth my time. Like, I'm just gonna turn around. Which
Farooq is
is
literally like, ooh.
yeah.
Anyway,
No,
leaves.
100%. I was just like, yikes. Papa don't even want to get mad. That's how
Nope.
disappointed
That's
that's
bad.
worse. That's
Worse.
worse. Because at least if you're mad, you care. Like
Oh.
when they just when it's just like stoic like that, very Stepford, very
Ooh, no.
he
Like
said,
I've had it up. Oh,
yeah,
haven't even had it up to here.
I'm
It's
not
gone. It's
mad, I'm
over.
disappointed.
Ew.
Yeah. That's what
Hey,
Farooq said.
but Crush forgot that no matter what happens to Savio, he will always be savvy with the hands and he's always ready to throw down.
No,
Because Crush is
100%.
literally twice his size.
Don't
And he was
care.
just like, we're scrapping because you just really pissed me off.
Right.
And I think Vince was like, do you think like he's trying to like sow the seeds of discord even further because he was like, it seemed like that what might not have been an accident.
Mm.
And I was like,
Okay, Vince.
interesting, Vince. Interesting. And normally I find everything you say irritating.
Well,
But this was an
because
interesting
today was like
tidbit.
just borderline panting anytime any of the wrestlers did
Oh
anything. The
my
man
God.
was,
Vince was
for
some
lack
type
of
of
a better
way.
word, what'd you say?
I said he was some type of way. Feeling
Erect.
some
He was just very into whatever was going on today. And because like there was just multiple points where like a wrestler would do something and he's just like, oh yeah. And you're
Oh
like,
my God, I didn't think you were gonna say it because we had said, I was like, Vince is sitting there with a stiffy under the table. He is
the
holding
man.
up the table. Like he is, because
100%.
he was just going,
That
oh yeah. And we were like,
it was just like,
Vince, like, calm
do,
down.
do you
Like,
want us to go? Like I
go take a
don't.
shower, you freak. Like it was
Oh my
so
god, he was losing it, and I was
wow.
losing it by proxy. You're just like, Jesus Christ, get it together.
Yeah, it was bordering on like somebody take the mic from Vince. It's freaking me out.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So it is it is announced that next week, or I'm sorry, at the King of the Ring pay-per-view, that we are gonna get a 6-man tag that was not announced previously. So it's gonna be Psycho Sid and the Legion of Doom taking on the Hart Foundation, the combination of Owen, the British Bulldog, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So that should be
I kind of
fun.
love.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't wait to see.
I loved watching Ahmed Johnson with LOD, and I was actually so happy when they did the recap of Ahmed and Farouk's feud and they did the
Mm,
Chicago street fight because I was like, oh, I forgot how good that was when he
that
had
was
his
so
own
good. Mm-hmm.
shoulder pads. I was like, ooh, and it was just good. And so I honestly, again, I've said this a million times, I feel like LOD can make anybody look good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how they are with Psycho Sid and like what happens because that's a big man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, for being gone for so long, he was in great condition. Like he
Yeah.
seemed like he hadn't
Oh
even
yeah, yeah.
left. So I'm really like I'm excited for that for
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yes. So that's something to look forward to. And then we now have the Shawn Michaels Stone Cold match to look forward to. We have the Undertaker taking on Farooq, which should be I'm interested to just see how it goes. Like last time they wrestled,
Yeah.
it was very meh,
Meh.
but we'll see. Um and then we also have who else is wrestling? Who else is wrestling? Who else is Were there any other matches announced?
So Because then Jerry and Mankind.
Jerry and,
Yes.
oh yeah, and then there's the actual King of the Ring tournament. Duh.
Yes.
So it's Jerry and Mankind, and then Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Ahmed Johnson. And then
Word.
the rest of that tournament will carry out as it carries out. So that's exciting.
Very.
And that leads us to our main event, which is Psycho Sid taking on the Undertaker. This one super not long, not a very
No.
long bout. Sid comes out real aggressive. It
Mm-hmm.
pretty much is like dominating the early part of the match.
Mm-hmm.
But the Undertaker pretty much turns it around quickly, hits the tombstone, and that's that on Sid. I love
Mm-hmm.
that they like, not that like it made him do a job, but like kind of though,
Kind
because he's
of.
like the former champion, so he kind of went down like real fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know it's like a TV, like whatever, and the title's not online, but like he was the form, like he's the guy the Undertaker beat for this title. Like, why was it?
Yes.
Why did he beat him so fast? Like,
Yeah. My only thought was like maybe they were just like testing his sea legs again because he hadn't been out, but also it's like then why would you put him in with the Undertaker off the rip? Like build that up again. Like I'm
yeah, I don't
back.
know.
Like
Or it's like a, not like a punishment for Sid. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But I know Sid's time with us is short-lived. I'm pretty sure this is the last month he's with the WWF.
and then he
He
goes
goes to
where?
WCW.
What a snake. Just
Mhm.
I
It
mean it
happens. A lot of
happens.
them do.
It
So,
happens as we all know. We at some point in like the future we'll continue our journey with Monday Night
mhm.
Wars. We just can't this time. But I yeah, I know I knew he wasn't here much longer. I actually wasn't sure he was gonna come back. I thought that was a wrap on him. And then maybe
No,
he
yeah, we
comes back and is
have
like, this kind of blows.
his like
I
last match is against Owen at some point in this month, in June.
Oh, in the month.
In the month that we are currently in.
Oh, like that short.
That short. That's why
Oh
I'm like,
no.
oh, my thing is like maybe they like maybe Vince knew at this point. It was just like, all right, just go out there and like do some jobs then.
Oh, maybe. That's a
But
good
I don't know.
point.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. Wild.
So,
Yeah, was that right?
as soon as the Undertaker wins, all of the nation comes out, and you know, as we've seen many times when it's the Undertaker in the main event, it's like a group of people having to come out and like
Yeah.
take him out
Duh.
before just because it's just the way it is.
He's the
And
dead
it's,
man.
when you're the dead man, it one is not enough.
Yeah,
So
period. It's so true.
also my thing was like it was when they like the nation came out, it was Farooq, Savio, and Crush.
So, are we good or what?
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying. I was like, first of all, y'all, this is the continuity I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
thank you so much for bringing this up.
y'all just were feuding so badly that Farouk literally like couldn't even be bothered. And then somehow, in the maybe 10 minutes that this match occurred, y'all are no longer feuding, gotten on the same page, come up with a plan and executed said plan.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Please, come on. You guys
Please.
want to be HBK and Stone Cold so bad, but you're not them. Come
Please.
on. I hate that.
I was like, y'all are the most unorganized group
The
ever.
most unorganized organization I have ever seen.
Ever
And that's
seen.
why
Who
I
does
can't.
what in this organization? No one knows.
No,
Uh,
like we need to have like who's secretary, who's treasurer, where is Clarence Mason doing the
100%.
clerical
Listen,
work? Like what's happening here?
there
There's
was
a
more organization in my high school choir department than there was
okay,
during this.
and I know that's right. I know that's right.
Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
because that I just we need some more infrastructure in the organization because I can't respect it because it's like the creed, sure, but the follow through is so bad.
So
So
bad.
bad.
And
We need to do something about
I'm just
this.
like, why? You could have dragged D'Lo out there. You could have dragged D'Lo and Savio. You could have dragged D'Lo and
Feel and
Crush.
crush.
You could have, you know what I mean? Like, you could have
Period.
even sent the two goons out there if you really want. Like, send Clarence out there. I don't care.
Clarence,
But don't just send the two that you were literally just first of all, you had to peel apart the week prior, and then this week we're literally rolling on the ground fighting each other.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm just like, if you're gonna tell the story, tell the story.
Correct.
Like, if there's gonna be discord within the nation between Crush and Savio, then tell that story.
Right.
But this little like innie
Just
outie, like la la la, like
right.
now we're a
I was
team,
like,
now we're not.
don't start this story and then just like forsake that for the sake of using the characters in another story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, don't give me like a main event esque feud and then give me like them as side characters in the next segment. You know what I mean?
I'm saying it's really. I honestly, I just feel like I feel like we said this. They just need to beef up the organization. They need more people. Like where is the recruitment?
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
because
Like,
obviously you don't have enough people to like
do what you need
work the
done.
jobs. Like
Right.
yeah, something
So,
needs to change here, and it's obvious, and I feel like it's coming, and I hope it's delightful. I know that the nation has another Genesis, and that's
it
great. I
does.
just like want it.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. But that leaves us. That's where the episode ends, of course, with the whole nation beating up the Undertaker. Because it's how it be when the Undertaker's the champion. Everybody's got to beat him up. That leads us into the King of the Ring pay-per-view, which will be our next New to Wrestling episode. As far as After Dark goes, oh well, this is backwards.
Oh my God,
So
yes, I keep forgetting that. We did the We're So
right.
Back, and have already been back.
We
Miss
already
girl.
flubbed this one up. Now, so if you're
We're
listening
still
to this,
learning.
I hope you enjoyed our After Dark episode on the behind the curtain of WrestleMania 40 documentary that just released on YouTube this past week. We go into it. We're gonna dissect it. We're gonna talk about it.
Thank God.
Kelsey and I watched the WrestleMania 40 main events together back
Yes.
when Kelsey was visiting, and then I thought this would be a nice little, fun little episode to supplement it.
You
So
know I love behind the scenes.
I know.
You know I love backstory. I can't wait
So
to I know that the episode's already aired, but we haven't recorded it yet. I
yes,
just
we
like
haven't
can't
recorded it
wait
yet.
to talk about this. I almost talked about it so many times before we even like when we were just like catching up before, and I was like, no, we gotta save it. We gotta save it.
Save it. Yes,
Oh, I'm
keep
so
it.
excited.
Sometimes we play the like the Regis and Kelly rule. We just don't talk about it until we're on the air.
We gotta, cause I
Because we
am
talk
such
a
a lot, and
lot.
poor Xavier, God bless, I'm a voice memo girly. I will send
Yes.
him like 4-minute long voice memos, and I sent him one literally while I was watching the thing, and I was like, I'm just saying that, and this is all I'm gonna say, and I just like said something about The Rock, which we'll get into, but
Yeah, and I listened to it at like 6 in the morning. Like I was getting ready for work. I work in a cafe, and I was getting ready for work, and I was like listened to it, and I was like, it's so early.
I sent it to you at 2 a.m. and
Yeah.
you were going to your cafe job at 6 a.m. Ships
Right.
in the night. But yeah, we really, really have to restrain ourselves because I will go off on a tangent in a voice memo, and I'll send 5 back to back that are 4 minutes long each.
No, I love it. It's great.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can never like get I just it's not in my habit to do it, so I never think to do it.
Because for me, it's this. I love to walk around and being like this. And then another thing, like I need to like I can't type because
you
I
can't
need my hands.
gesticulate the way that
Yeah, I
you that
need my
you'd
hands,
like.
and I need you to hear my tone.
Oh,
So I
I get
have
that.
voice memos are my gig for real. Sorry.
I get that. I get that. All right, guys. This has been another episode of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting wherever you find us. I do my best to get back to everybody that does reach out. And we will see ya next week.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.